Hey everybody, this is Christopher Small with CMS Law Firm. We do estate planning, we do probate, we do it well. Today, I want to talk to you about a question I get quite often, which is it worth it to set up a trust just to avoid probate? Before we get to that though, if you have any estate planning needs, questions, probate needs, questions, anything at all, you can set up a time to talk with me for free over the phone or in person at estatemeeting.com. Just go there, you'll get to see my calendar, sign up, we'll chat, estatemeeting.com. All right, so the big question of the day, is it worth it to set up a trust, a revocable living trust, just to avoid probate? The answer is, it depends. It depends on a couple different things, on many different things. The reason that this popped up is because I had a conversation about this specific topic today with a potential client. And the reason that the answer is it depends is because it depends on what assets you have in your estate, it depends on where you live, it depends on all kinds of different stuff. So let's start at the top. Revocable living trust is basically like a box. It's a box that you are in charge of. You create this box with some paperwork. Anything that you put inside of the box or take out of the box is still yours while you're alive. The advantage of this is that anything that's inside of the box when you die is technically held in trust by the trust, so you don't need probate to transfer the title of those assets into the name of a beneficiary. The reason why you might not want to have a trust to avoid probate is because there are often other ways that you can avoid probate without a trust. You can do beneficiary designations, transfer on death designations. You can give it away before you die. You can do, for real estate, which is the same, but a transfer on death designation for real estate. So there are ways that you can avoid probate. However, there are some things that you cannot do that for, namely business interests for the most part. And there are other things to consider when it comes to this too. You may not want to do a transfer on death deed for real estate, for example, because you have multiple beneficiaries and you don't want them fighting over what to do with the house when it goes to them. Because with the transfer on death deed, it would go to all of the people that you name on the deed. So if you had 3 kids, for example, and you want to split it evenly, you would, instead of liquidating the property and splitting the proceeds with them, all 3 of them would just become the record owners of the property. That could be a problem if one person wants to sell and one doesn't, or all the other variations that could happen. So a trust can help avoid that, particularly when you have business interests, or if you have property and if you have multiple properties out of state. What you do is essentially create this trust. You put all those things into the trust. You can assign the LLC interests, for example. You can assign partnership interests. You can assign basically everything, transfer anything into the trust, and then when you die, those assets, those interests can be transferred to their rightful place via the trust. So a probate is not needed. Now, the other equation that goes into this is cost. I can tell you, at least with my firm, it is significantly cheaper to create a trust in this way and transfer everything into the trust and avoid probate than it is to pay for probate. What you also get with probate is you have a time expense, you have a frustration expense, you have a this sucks expense, basically. Probate's not terrible in Washington State, but it's not fun either. So those are the considerations that you want to make when you are thinking about whether or not to create a trust just to avoid probate. Step 1 is to think, can we avoid probate in any other way? Step 2 is to consider whether or not you want to pay for the trust now or you want to pay for the probate when you're dead. All right, that is it. I'm Christopher Small with CMS Law Firm. We do estate planning, we do probate, we do it well. If you have additional questions, if you need help, if you have anything that you want to talk to me about, please go to estatemeeting.com. You can set up a time to talk with me over the phone or in person for free, estatemeeting.com. All right, that's it. Thank you for listening. If you like this, hit the like button. If you know somebody needs to hear this, please share it with them. Otherwise, I will talk to you again tomorrow.